Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to an old friend, one of my favourite people, and one of the biggest stars in the world, Criss Angel. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How's everything going?
It's good, and it's great to see you again. There I was in MINDFREAK Live last week here at the Luxor, and it still looks beautiful. You seem to still love to do it, and it's still the best magic show in the world. Congratulations.
Well, how can I argue with your opinion? It's correct. But thank you so much for the very kind words. I'm doing good, just crazy busy.
Every time I talk to you, you say, right, I've got another project now. And when we first met, we were at Believe, and then you created this MINDFREAK Live. That was 2 years ago. It ends just before November. You finish, I think, the 28th of October, which I'll be at, which I'm excited for. But that then means you've got time to go and rest and go on vacation and do nothing.
I'm honestly busier now, and I always say I'm busy, but I've never been as busy as I am right now because I'm working on my new show. I'm working on a new television project. I'm working on a movie and a couple of little things that I'm doing.
Let's rewind a little bit. So the name of the show, can we talk about that?
I can't say very much about it. The only thing I can say is that I've worked tirelessly on this show, and this show has been an amazing catapult of my ideas and of the things I wanted to bring to fruition. But it stopped short from where I really wanted to go. And now that I'm creating this from scratch, and I've been working on material for, a decade or so, maybe two, some of this material, I'm finally going to realize the epic dream that I had, and to bring it to life. I don't quite honestly think, or I can't think of how I could top this new show that I'm doing. It has the best elements that I'm known for, my signature pieces, but it has brand new pieces. It has pieces that I've created and toured with Raw that I wanted to try out new material and have the opportunity to not do it in Vegas. And a lot of that material really killed from MINDFREAK Live that I finally did live. In front of 5,000 people at the venues I was playing. So now I get the opportunity to take the best of Raw, the best of MINDFREAK, and kind of take new material on top of that, put it together in really, I think, a show that will be a revolutionary experience in the world of entertainment in Vegas. And that's a big statement, but I'm working my ass off. I have about 100 people working on it right now, and it's going to be a very, very unique experience. Hands down, it will be the most technologically sophisticated show the world of entertainment in Vegas, in New York City, or anywhere in the world when it comes to theater. No one has presented a show quite like this, and I can say that wholeheartedly and know that with a lot of confidence. And we're just gonna bust our ass to open up this show. The goal is before the end of this year.
And I saw on Twitter this week that you have had delivery of all these new speakers. I'm guessing they're going to go in the back of the seats, or where are they going to go? Because they look like there were thousands of them. Yeah,
we got, I have literally been so fortunate to get, I have 202 million pixels of video alone. 202 million pixels of video. I have the latest, greatest technologies. I have more lighting in this show, more pyrotechnics, more video than any show in the world. There's no theater show that has anything near it. It's a pretty astonishing technological show. It's completely an immersive experience. And I could just say, in this show, people freak out when I levitate. I mean, you see the audience's responses, for yourself. But in the news show, when I levitate, random people in the audience will levitate. No BS.
Wow. So you're saying that I could be sat next to somebody who could just suddenly take off?
This is something that I wanted to do 20 years ago, and something I wanted to do for this show. But, we couldn't realize everything I wanted to do. And Cirque was amazing with providing me the canvas to do some of it, and it's been an amazing learning experience for me and for the people that work with me. But now I can take it to levels way beyond what I'm doing here. I could have very easily just said, hey, you know what, I'll take my touring show, or I'll take what I've done and just transfer it over, and that's what I'll do. But I'm not like that as a human being. That's not how I'm wired. And I want to make a statement. I want to make the boldest statement with this new production, and I want people to experience theater in a way that they've never experienced before, and I want to set the bar to another level. That's my goal.
And I saw as well last week that you put a thing online with the new proscenium arch that you've put around the theatre that is currently being built. You are actually in that theatre, whichever it's going to be, currently setting up this show. It's going to take that long to produce.
Maybe. Yeah, we're working vigorously around the clock. We start at my team starts at 4 a.m. and it goes 7 days a week. And if you see the level of sophistication, the automated elements in this show, and I mean, there are, just about 30 different flame effects alone that are automated in the stage. The stage has been, completely made in my shop, in my fabrication shop. And there's more, like I have one huge firewall in this show. There all have, almost 30 different fire effects alone in the stage. That's not taking into consideration all of the lasers and, 40-foot smoke curtain and 1,500 lights and 150 speakers to create the sound system. There's so many different elements coming together in one kind of synergistic experience that really will take people ultimately on a roller coaster ride of emotion. And I always talk about that for years and years. And this show has accomplished that. This is the first magic show that you see people in the audience, actually grown men crying, because when we do that whole segment about kids and how I incorporate my art with that, it really is the magic of emotion. And I wanted to take that even further. So in the new show, the format of the show and what we know of what I've done here at the Luxor is completely different. There is none of the comedy that you expect, from a Cirque du Soleil traditional kind of comedy that's in all their shows. I'm putting tons of magic. There'll be 75 different illusions, demonstrations in the show. There'll be more magic in the show than anything anybody's ever done, including myself. And there'll be moments that are funny. It'll be very intimate. It'll be very pop culture. It's going to be something that really is a statement and will speak to everyone. And the new location I'm going into is it's a great venue to have this incredible, intimate experience, but allows me to still do things on a very high level.
Just reflecting on the last 10 years, so much has changed. Of course, you've now got Johnny and you've got Chanel, and your life is completely different. I mean, as you sit here, it's been an incredible decade, hasn't it? Yeah,
every day I'm very thankful for, my child is obviously going through his battle of cancer, but he's doing very, very well. Chanel's an amazing mother, an amazing partner to me. She's awesome. And the love that we have for our son and for each other is second to none, so it's beautiful. But I work all the time, that's all that I'm doing is working, because I am working on this new show, which I'm trying to open. The soft open will be, I'm trying before the end of the year, and then the official open will be next year. But I'm also working on a movie script, which I hope to shoot next year as well. And another brand new television project, which I'm very, very excited about. I had the pleasure, and I'm going to give you an exclusive, but I signed a deal officially a few months ago with Burnett. Wow. And he is the king television. His shows are The Voice, Survivor, Shark Tank, The Apprentice, and it goes on and on and on and on. So we've been working really hard. I just shot some stuff this week for that project. But there's a lot of things lining up, and I believe my career is about to go to a whole nother level. I don't think in my entire career it's ever gone to the level that I'm about to hopefully peak out. I should say not peak out, because hopefully it will continue to go, but it hasn't peaked, let's just say.
Right.
It's simmering, but it's going to go and start brewing again.
And for 10 years, you've been doing 10 shows a week. And I know we spoke about this last time, that you're going to back off from that a bit. Is that still the case, that you'll do one show a night, not 2 shows a night?
No, I will still do 2 shows a night. I just won't do as many of them. My new schedule will give me more of an opportunity to tour, because there's been, I had an opportunity just to tour, and I had a considerable amount of money on the table to go and tour for 10 months for a ridiculous amount of money. But because of Johnny and my relationship and everything, I just didn't feel it was the appropriate time for me to do that. So I kind of compromised and signed an amazing deal to stay in Vegas. And I'll have months to tour, and so I have the best of both worlds, and I'll still do 2 shows, but it won't be nearly as much. My schedule will go down tremendously, because I have this television project, I have touring and other things that I'm considering doing. So it's a very exciting time, because now I get to really set the course for my future, whereas the course was set 12 years or 13 years ago. So it's a long time to be kind of locked in. Here it's a very different situation, and I've grown as an artist and as a person, and so I have a lot of things that I want to achieve, and I want to experiment, and I want to be creative in many different facets that I never had the opportunity to do, because I was such a slave to the show, which has been great, but it allows me to do very little.
And the new TV show, can we have any clues as to the style of the show? I mean, he's king of reality. He sort of does this fly-on-the-wall stuff. Is it going to be a produced show, or is it going to involve an audience? Can we find out anything about it?
Yeah, I really, unfortunately, I probably said too much to begin with, but because it's you, I always tell you more than I should. No, I really can't say much about it. All that I can say, it's a very exciting concept. It's a concept that we haven't seen for magic, and it's a concept that I'm very excited about, because it allows me to do my thing. It allows me to use all of the tentacles that I have, and it's a concept that I think will be very engaging for the day and age that we live. And MINDFREAK, when that came out, it was the right time, and I think what we're working on right now is really, the time is right, and I'm ready to do this, and I think it's going to be something very special.
And times do change. I mean, I noticed with your show, and the thing I've said to you before, the pacing of it and the rhythm of it is so relevant for today. The days of spending 15 minutes on one trick, building it up and waving at it, or making something disappear on a TV show, audiences just won't suspend disbelief for that long anymore. You've got to make it quick and snappy, and you've got to also take them in a different direction. Just making an elephant disappear won't wash in 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is 100% correct. Some of the other shows, or magic shows, or magicians probably are still in the old kind of school way of thinking, which is fine. I mean, maybe their audience is a different type of audience, but I try to remain relevant by bringing not only the newest, latest, greatest technology, and keeping my show fresh and innovative, and trying to create the ultimate experience, and still continue to work on new material. But I think how you present it and how you package it is equally as important, and you have to understand the society that you live in. And for me, it's about keeping it fresh and keeping it relevant with how people are going to receive it. And so I just concentrate on doing that. And if other people want to continue to do what they do, it's even easier for me.
To get a standing ovation in Las Vegas is never easy, and I came to your show last week and you had several of them through the show, and the reaction by the end is ecstatic. Does that ever get old, that feeling of taking a crowd, having them come in, impressing them, and by the end having them on their feet?
I never take any single person for granted, because without their love and support, as I say in the show, for the last 10 years, I would never have the opportunity to do anything more. And like the fate of so many shows that close, in Vegas, I'm just grateful to have been able to do what I love for so many years, a decade in Vegas, and now I go into the next decade, taking it up many notches, and that's because I continue to have the love and support. Because I think when people perceive Criss Angel, whether in Vegas or on tour, they know that they can have some trust about the product they're going to be buying. And I think that's the thing. People look at Vegas and they're like, if I just go to Vegas and do a show, I'll be a big star, I'll be a big success. It's not that easy, and you see that it's not that easy by the amount of shows that close. You probably review many of those shows that are here for a week or a month or 3 months, and then they're gone, or they're paying to play. I'm just so blessed to have an audience, a global audience, and to be able to do what I love. And because I have that success, I'm able to not worry about what my profit margin is, but I worry about what is the ultimate experience that I can create for the audience, because that's more important to me. I have enough money, I don't have to work. My kid doesn't have to work. It's more important to remain the most relevant artist in my craft, and the way that I do that is by working harder than everybody else and by providing a better experience, a much greater experience than anybody else can have. And that's what I'm trying to do every day, whether I go on stage or every day when I'm creating something new. That's what you have to have. And the minute I lose that, and it's about the dollars or about just going through the motions to say I'm doing it, then it's time to retire.
And then again, you go from the stage of the standing ovation with several thousand people to going to Disney with your son and your family and having a magical time with Goofy. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it, how your life is sort of two ends of the spectrum, really, but both equally as magical.
Absolutely, and it's so crazy that you say that, because on the way over to see you, my friend Gary Oldman sent me a picture, and you can pull this up, but here is Gary with his son right there, right, and then there's me with my son in the same spot doing the same thing, literally within a month apart. And he wrote, "Great dads think alike." So to have the opportunity to give that to Johnny and have just a great escape with my son, with Chenille, and just be able to go and have a beautiful day, even though it was like 30 hours I was gone. Right. I just needed to take my son, went through a really rough time. He had a lumbar puncture, and they put him to sleep, and they tap his spinal tap to get fluid, to make sure there's no cells in his spine or in his brain that are cancerous. And then they inject him with chemo there as well. And he had a really, really rough time. They do that every few months with him. And so I promised him, I said, "Johnny, look forward, get through this, and we're gonna go and see your friends Goofy and Mickey and Minnie." And that's what we did. And and it's a beautiful thing to do. And Gary does the same thing. And people, whether you're a celebrity or the greatest thespian like Gary Oldman, or you just somebody that just is working 9 to 5, we're all the same. We all have love, we have family, and we want to spend that time, because those moments ultimately are the most important memories that we can create for our children to remember when we're no longer here. Hey, my dad took me to Disneyland, look at that picture. And it's just funny that when I got that text, I look at the picture of Gary with his kid and me with my kid at the same sword in the same park doing the same thing. And it was like this very interesting kind of brain wave that we're on. But then I thought about it, and I said, there's everybody that goes there takes that picture. So it's not me and Gary, it's everybody. We're all wired the same. Doesn't matter who you are. black, white, brown, or rich, poor, where you're from in the world, you all want love. You all want to give love. You all want to get love. And you all want to have those cherished memories that you have with the people you love.
And no amount of success will equal that contentment at home, will it?
No. I mean, the only thing that I'm so blessed to have is the means to give those experiences to my son at those levels. But you can have experiences doing normal things, like I take my son to the swing and we just do that, or I'll wrestle with him, and he punched me in the face yesterday. And I'm like, Johnny, you can punch me, and he said, don't punch me in the face. But I'm teaching him.
I
want to get him into MMA now, so I'm gonna bring him over to Randy Couture, a friend of mine, to start training there. But you can have great times. You don't have to spend money, but it's nice to also be able to do that, to have the freedom to do that if you choose. So this is the vehicle that gives me that type of life, gives my family that type of life, and it's the fruits of your labor.
Congratulations on MindFreak Live, still here until October 28th. The new show opens some point maybe before Christmas. Hopefully we get to see it, and then the official opening in 2019. And the TV show, very exciting, with Mark Burnett coming in 2019 too. Criss Angel.
I just gave you that exclusive because it hasn't even been announced. But yeah, it's an exciting time. So stay tuned. Go to Criss Angel, Twitter, follow me, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to do. Just go there, check it out. The big announcement will happen in the next few weeks, and I'm very, very excited. I hope you'll come and experience the magic for yourself.
Criss, as always, thank you for your time. Thank you for the exclusive, and good luck with 2019.
Pleasure. Talk to you soon.